We're doing it live.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to another Woodshop podcast with Mike Coffey of Coffee Custom Builds, Daniel Dunlap of Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, and Peter Kapar of Petrie's Workshop. You can find us all as well as the podcast on Instagram and YouTube.
Welcome to episode 45 of another Woodshop podcast, where once again we back that ask up. This time with Paul Jackman.
As
Hey,
always.
Paul's here.
Paul's here.
Oh, was I supposed to start recording?
Take two.
Oh my gosh.
You're actually going to do a high concept episode where we're acting like you're on the show.
You guys told me he knew what he was doing. I want my
He's
money
a
back.
professional.
I'm a podcaster.
Legally. Hey,
Legally.
real quick.
Annually,
talk
once a
about-
year.
His annual episode of the show. Real quick, let's talk about the sponsor of the show. This week's sponsor is last week's sponsor, and that's Bear Hollow Supply. Big thank you to them for sponsoring the show. Go check them out on Instagram, but mostly check out their website. They got some really cool cabinet hardware and the Singer style cast aluminum bases. We really love those guys. We really appreciate them supporting the show. And if you could give them some love, that would be really great. Pete,
You know
What do
what
you
else
got?
is great? Our
Nuh-uh.
Patreon. Yeah.
They are great. They're really great.
If you want to help support the show and get some behind the scenes access to some of the very special stuff we do, and of course, early access to all the content we drop, make sure to check us out on Another Woodshop Podcast patreon.com/Another Woodshop Podcast. It's early. It's fine. My first time. But make sure to check us out there and help us grow.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Appreciate our patrons very much. And we're really excited to have Paul on the show.
Who?
I don't know.
He's the guy in the
His
bottom right
name's
square.
Jack Paulman, according to the
Jack Paulman.
YouTube live we just got done with. Paul, thanks for coming on the show. We have some questions for you, but
That is all.
Before we get started, I want a special request for Peter. Could he put a laugh mic on? He needs more microphones.
Oh, come on. I get a laugh mic.
I never noticed that. Have you
I
always
just
had that
realized.
gaming headset?
Oh, it's just, yeah, it does the audio loops. So I can hear
You
myself
can't see the
talk.
boom microphone just out of frame.
Here.
For the record, I thought Paul said a laugh mic, so I was thinking laugh track. I'm like, why do you want a laugh track?
That would help
on
the
this?
show.
Let me
that
hit
would
the
help.
button.
Would that hurt or help?
Would it help the Joker? Oh,
yeah.
God.
God. Anyways,
So-
what there was somebody asked a question.
Who knows?
Just record scratch as soon as the podcast starts.
Yeah. That's pretty much how it goes every week. You
Yeah,
should
about-
check out the show. It's
About an
pretty
hour
okay.
and 20 minutes of this.
Yeah, it's all record scratches and
Yeah.
crickets. I mean, before we got into the show, we were talking about the new shop. We've got questions about your new shop. How you liking your new shop? It looks great.
It's all right. It's hard to organize. It's kind of too much space. I'm
Oh,
feeling a
always
little
worse.
overwhelmed.
Too much space.
I need to buy new tools and spend a bunch of money. You
I
know,
hate that. You got a laugh mic?
He's
He's
got
got
a-
a laugh mic.
let's keep
My
this
wife
bit
is the
going.
best.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm just gonna wear it the whole show.
Outstanding.
Sorry, back to
Interesting.
your
Crickets.
giant shop that you have so much trouble with.
Yeah, so I mean, I this summer I upgraded from 300 square foot one car garage in Washington D.C. to a barn that's
It's 10 sheets of plywood.
1,200. Yeah, it's a lot of plywood.
We did
1,200
the
square
math.
feet, I think.
Is it really 1,200?
I think so, but it's the upstairs of a barn, so it's like a gambrel roof, so it's
Right.
a little bit
Oh,
less.
Hold on, I need to.
It's
Google
only
that.
about 1,000 square
Say that
feet.
word again. Gambrel.
Gambrel.
Gambrel. Can you spell that for me? I need to Google it.
What
Yeah.
riveting content this is.
Put it in the
Gross.
show notes, Dan.
Please put it in the show notes.
It looks like a barn.
Oh, barn
okay.
roof. Got it.
You've got to Omaha your words.
Was it Gabriel?
What is this Gabriel roof you're talking about?
Now, weird question, but do you find is there an issue for tools being up against the wall?
It's tricky because it's a lot of wall space, but it's not really usable wall
Can't
space.
use it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm trying to figure out some way to put like pipe clamps up there, like a hook at an angle, because you'd have to hold both the top and the bottom and
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
slide it in both, because you can't just put it in, hook it in the top and let it dangle like you usually can.
So many jokes.
There's so yes.
Because it's not like 45, it's like a slight angle.
I just set up the volleyball at the net, and it's ready to spike down, and you guys just
You
all
better
let
take
it fall
set it
on
to
the
Dan.
floor.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Pete, you better take this thing all the way home, dude. You can't just say it's a good joke and then not say the joke. Oh man,
That's a
if
joke.
someone
I
had
was
something
gonna
funny
jump
to
in
say,
there.
this would be a good time.
There's a joke there.
I don't want to get demonetized, guys. It's fine.
Cancel culture.
Cancel culture.
Stop.
Go on.
Awkward silence.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear from you. I hear from you every week.
for sure. What's next in the shop for tools and stuff? That's always interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually designing a cabinet that has like an angled back on it that fits up against the wall. I guess that's more of a continuation of your last question, but I made like some scrap wood carts, and they fit that same angle, push up against the wall. So it's like it's nice. It's like it would be good for a regular shop too, but you just put the flat side against the wall because it's like a little library of scraps. You can
I saw that, and it makes so much sense now.
Yeah.
I have an idea. I'm gonna throw it out there. Okay, we kind of touched on this last week where people were like, what would you do in a shop that most people overlook? And some of us said urinal. I think a pallet wood urinal fits that angle in a
I'm
corner.
gonna drill a hole in the wall and just make like a funnel, like a segmented pallet wood funnel. So it's like
Okay,
like
I'm on
like a
board.
porta potty, you know?
Yes.
That'd be amazing.
You have to turn it. You have to turn it on a lathe.
But the
Yeah.
outlet has to be long enough to go to your neighbor's yard, like right into your neighbor's yard.
It's gonna be hard. He's on
Like
4 acres.
like a gutter.
Or it's just like the condenser drain on your AC that just like drip, 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 drip.
It smells terrible out here. What is
By
this?
the way, I don't know if you read the contract clearly for this show, but if you use any of the ideas we come up with, you owe us a percentage.
Oh boy.
He loses money on them, though. We owe him money.
That's
No.
a
Right.
money
How
maker
that
right there
works.
too.
No.
Yeah. Pallet wood piss bucket.
Yeah, real
gonna be-
banger. Dan.
It's gonna be a banger.
Show title. No, wait. Code word? I don't know.
Yeah,
We're-
write it down,
It's early.
Dan.
It's early. I'm gonna write it down with my Apple Pencil because
Oh.
I'm holding that apparently.
All right, back to Paul.
I'm just like picturing the beginning of like a Bob Claggett video. I'm Bob from I Like to Make Stuff, and today we're gonna make a pallet with piss funnel.
Piss bucket.
But it still has like Home Depot or Lowe's carved into
Yeah.
it. The sponsored video.
This video is sponsored by Lowe's.
It's just CNC
Speaking
on a
of-
Tumblr.
Of Bob Claggett, I think one of my favorite like Jackman moments in my head is when you edited his intro for your video for the
Yes.
playing for I regularly go back and listen to that freaking song. It's so good.
Pat made the sound for me, and he made the little like video intro,
Uh-huh.
and then I did the like because he made it the same video. He like dropped a bunch of wood on his workbench, and it turned into whatever he made.
Are you
It's like
talking
a
about
sandpaper organizer, I think.
Pat Lepic?
Pat Lap.
Pat Lap.
Le Perrier.
Le
Perrier.
What is his Instagram handle? Is that
He eats cheese
Pat
curds,
Lap-
so
Ooh, I like him. With
yeah.
poutine and all that.
Yeah.
All right.
Poutine? No,
Les pic
poutine.
bois.
Oh,
Oh, did I screw that up just now? I'm gonna fire myself. It's fine.
different thing in Canada.
Pat messaged me this morning. I was getting ready, and Pat messaged me, and he goes, "If you even look at my Pat sideways, I will kill you." And then he sent me a picture of him with his shirt up, milking his own nipple. That's the best. I freaking love Pat.
That is so weird.
The best part of that is I 100% believe that happened.
Oh, I'll show you the pictures right now. Pat's the best, and I was like, "Oh, me and Paul will bang." And he's like, "Ah."
Oh, jeez.
Anyway, so that's how
Anyway,
my
speaking of
morning
Bob
started.
Claggett,
I like to make stuff.
I had this
Dang,
on.
Paul.
Are you saying we're never gonna get Bob Claggett on the show?
I love Pat so much.
Demonetized.
I have this ongoing bit that I do with Bob that he doesn't know about,
Yes, the best bits. Only one-sided.
which is what makes it funny. I always tell people that Bob hates me, and it's funny to me because I don't think Bob is capable of hating
Yeah, he
another human
doesn't.
being.
Can't feel hatred.
Right. And I wasn't thinking about it. I was at, I think it was Workbench Con. And I was talking with him, and I said something about him hating me. And he's like, no. I like you. I love you. You're great. I was like, no, I'm joking. Like I'm joking. He was like very offended by it. Like, I don't hate people.
I'm sorry, did I make you think that I hated you?
Because I forgot that it was just a bit in my head. And he didn't know.
No one knows about it.
No.
Oh, I spoke it out loud.
Yeah.
Said the quiet parts out loud again.
Right. So now I feel bad, but it's even funnier now for some reason.
That's what this entire podcast is. The quiet parts out loud.
Awesome.
It sounds like the Asscast, except I'm able to edit that.
Oh god.
Right.
This is we do minimal
your hands
editing. It just
entirely.
all goes out.
I don't think there's any editing.
Redacted was the best bit on that
Remember
show.
how we used to edit like the first 10 episodes? Yeah. No, it's all raw.
It's funny because we actually did redact stuff.
Oh, I believe it. From
Like
here,
as we're going through the show, I'd write down time codes. It's like that might not swing. Like that might not go.
I just love when Graz would say redacted. It's so good. It's like Goat Boy.
He was really good at it.
He's good. He's one of the
Yeah.
best. Anyway, back to real questions here.
Anyways, seriousness.
Tools
So
for
your
the
shop.
We were talking about shop tools.
Yeah.
After you build the piss bucket, what do you think?
How are you guys
Next-
sponsored?
No, it's a mess.
They don't listen.
They don't listen. No one cares.
Yeah, so I mean, the trickiest part about the shop is the angle of the roof, and it's on the second floor.
Right.
That's second
Both.
floor. But how'd you get those tools up there?
That's
Especially
a very short answer.
10-inch drum sander.
Yeah, that one was tricky.
Heaviest tool you got up there.
It's funny because everyone is like, with the big miter saw station, it's like a 12-foot long bag of cabinets. Everyone's like, "How you're not going to get that upstairs? It's stupid. Shouldn't have built that."
Comes apart.
It's like,
right?
yeah, it's built in 3-foot sections,
Right.
because I anticipate stuff like that.
Now, how'd you actually get them up there? Did you go up the stairs with a lot of the stuff, or
Yeah,
did you
Yeah,
guys get 'em up?
everything went up
Wow.
the stairs. So we pulled all the drawers out, carried those up individually, and then the cabinet carcass took that up. Me and my wife helped out with that and just kind of slid it up the stairs basically.
Oh.
But once it was empty, it was pretty lightweight.
I remember watching that in the stories.
Yeah, it
Are
was tricky.
I saw you're putting that like outside the double doors that drops to the ground where you throw the bodies. You're doing like, did you put a crane up there? Is that what like a hand crane? Is that what you're setting up?
That's
Are you gonna
the
utilize that?
plan. Yeah, on the back side or the front side, whatever, the water
Yeah.
side of the barn
Right.
is a deck, and the handle or the handrail is removable. There's like a section of
okay.
it you can pop off. So the guy that owns the building is an old shop teacher of mine, and he had a big compressor up there that was probably 1,000 pounds, and he took it out of there and dropped it down to the ground by himself.
Whoa.
So it's doable.
That's awesome.
Safe. Eh.
That's the guy that's in your stories, right?
Yeah.
Your old shop teacher, Mac.
Mac. Yeah.
Back- yeah.
Mac. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool. That's
Mac
cool you
and
got that
Cam.
connection. Yes,
Palindrome.
Cam is the other guy. Yep.
Yep.
No kidding.
Palindrome
Look at
names.
that is interesting.
Yeah.
Go on.
What else we got? I mean, guys, you
There.
got any questions? Yeah. I mean,
Dan,
we could just call the show. It was a good 13 minutes.
Oh God. Oh, what's your favorite
wanna-
thing to make?
What's your
yeah,
favorite
let's not-
tool?
What's your favorite project? No, let's
we
do
get so many of
what's up,
those.
Dan? Go ahead.
I had a question during the pre-show that I don't know if we ever got an answer to. Do you have anything that's coming up that you're really excited about that you can share with us?
I have something I can't share with you.
Perfect.
Go ahead. Go on.
Elaborate.
Interesting.
Say more.
Interesting.
I have a project in this spring that's going to happen. That it's a baseball game with some other makers. You know,
Oh. So you're gonna get the third base with some other makers.
if you listen to the
Wow.
Making It After show, that's you can make the connection there.
Gotcha.
This isn't weird.
So
So
got to listen to the Making It After show.
Got to
Yeah,
become a
but-
patron of
no,
making.
I want
Become
you.
this is all a ruse to get patrons for making it. They're paying.
Is that what this is?
See, I
We need
want
you to go on tour
have
to get us
refer-
patrons.
Yeah.
I want you to have to refer to our show later. Be like, yeah, you got to listen to the AWP.
Right.
Yeah, that'll happen for
Say
sure.
You got me
Listen to
drunk. Spilled all the
AWP.
beans.
To find out that you have to
find it.
listen to the Making It After show.
And making an after show, it's just like a crappy pitch, and you don't give any information.
And it's a baseball pitch.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my
Ah.
god!
I like
full
that.
Oh.
This guy gets it.
this show sucks.
Remember what I said before we started recording? Yeah, I'm breaking that promise. I'll be right back.
You're gonna go get your drinks now.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
jeez.
Go ahead. Well, I have some questions for Paul. Why not?
Yeah.
All right. So let me get the list.
The project that I can't tell you about wasn't invigorating enough.
All right, let me get my clipboard.
That didn't wet your whistle enough, Peter.
So you're making a
Like
Jackman size whistle.
a Jackman size whistle. So it's a
Yeah.
giant whistle. Yep. Because baseball, they blow the whistle. No, they don't. That's a different sport.
No,
I don't know. I don't follow.
they don't blow
sports. Good
whistles
Sports.
in baseball.
All
Touchdown.
right, for the
Goal units.
insane people that have found our podcast by accident, I apologize for the last 20 minutes, but can you explain to them how you got into like pallets?
It's just a level of self-hatred and guilt from my childhood, I guess. I don't know what it is. I grew up a straight white male, and I have this level of guilt that I can't get rid of, so I take it out on myself.
Have you thought
By-
about cutting your forearms?
It's
Nice.
basically it's a form of death.
Breaking down pallets.
You do it just so you'll feel something.
Yes, exactly.
Outstanding.
I've never worded it that way before, but it's actually kind of good.
You
So,
can
well,
use that.
on the same theme though, and
I
think
have a real answer if you want that.
Oh
but-
well, I'd like
Go-
a
go
real
ahead.
answer.
That
too, I
wasn't
guess.
the real answer.
Make it a quick one. If it's the real one, I want it quick.
So, I mean, there's a few reasons to do it. One is it's reclaimed material, stuff that I literally pull from the trash. So
Right.
it's environmentally friendly. I'm very, environmentalist, granola type of person. It's unique. You don't see a lot of people doing it. A lot of times because it's a lot of work and nobody is dumb enough to, go to that extent of doing
High
all
concept.
these laminations and stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's job security.
And to be fair,
Yeah.
if people don't know who you are, we're not talking about like making pallet furniture.
Like a
We're talking
pallet
about
coffee table.
Solid
It's like a-
projects out of pallet wood.
That's kind of the third part
Quite
of
a
it
different
is-
thing.
Like I remember seeing people making like pallet walls and coffee tables and stuff, and I always used to think like, hey, that's pretty cool. I really like that concept, but I don't think that people are going far enough. I think you can push that further. So
Well, you pushed it.
that's what I did.
So speaking of hating yourself, why do you take on such crazy projects that may make no sense to some people?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, an enormous hammer or a nutcracker
Yeah.
or a giant vase that took you weeks to sand. By the way, I saw you do no work at the show, the woodworking shows in Jersey. I saw you carve maybe one of those little petals, and that was it.
Yeah, those aren't very productive typically.
So why do you hate
I was
yourself?
working on
Answer,
their vase
please.
there. I don't know. I ask myself that all the time because I get that question a lot. Like I just finished gluing together 7,000.
We're all concerned, Paul. We're all
Yeah, I know.
concerned.
Is everything
This
okay
an
at home?
intervention.
My wife beats me.
Show me on a leg lamp where she
Yeah. Show me on the doll.
She knows hand-on-hand combat. She's in the military. It hurts.
So the giant hands are a metaphor.
There you go.
God.
So unless your client is Warren Buffett, none of these projects make sense.
Yeah.
You actually
I just wanted to
didn't
throw that out there.
Didn't you
We'll
sell
make a
the
billionaire.
vase to some like client for a gallery or something?
Yeah, it was some rich guy out in California. It's
His
out, it's
name
out near Mike
was-
now.
Did it rhyme with Schmore and Schmuffet?
Warren Schmuck.
Very code.
It didn't rhyme with Schmiel Schmusk.
Oh man.
Fun fact:
You know
Warren
that vase
Buffett
is
is
in
my
space
neighbor.
already.
Yeah,
That
it's
vase is
on
in
Mars.
space.
First vase on Mars.
Nobody heard that. That's fine.
Oh, sorry,
What?
Dan. Go ahead.
Fun fact: Warren Buffett's my neighbor.
No, he's not.
Well, basically, I mean, he lives in a mall.
You can't say he lives in
No.
the
State adjacent.
Neighbor adjacent, yes.
Oh, he's nearby.
I mean, honestly, there's probably like 5 people between Dan and Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
right.
Just
You
miles.
know how
of
you could like
corn.
play the 8 or whatever connections to Kevin Bacon. I think there's like
6
2.
degrees of separation.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
it. 8
You guys call it something different in Nebraska.
degrees of
8.
connection.
8-degree connections.
It's 8 in Omaha because of the distance.
It's 8 degrees of Warren Buffett in Omaha.
Oh,
There we
I
go.
thought we've asked like 2 questions. This has been banter.
So, I mean, the reason that you brought that up, I think we've talked about this in the pre-show. I do a lot of work with Carolina Shoe. They're a work boot company, and one of the
Great
projects
boots.
was,
Yeah,
they make boots.
They're great boots. I just bought my first pair a couple weeks back. Or my wife got them for me for Christmas. They're actually fantastic. I really like them.
Did you get a code? Yeah,
I use your code.
good
Yeah.
stuff.
Wait, what? There's a secret
Carolina
code?
Boots code.
Put it
No,
in the
it's
show
like
notes.
15% off code or something like that. A Jackman 15. I think.
Jackman 20 now.
20.
Whoa,
Is it 20?
Whoa!
Oh, wow.
Up in the
I got
world.
show notes, Pete.
I got a new one. I got a new one this year. It's only for select boots, but not everything on their website. So
I'll
that's why
take
it's more, I think. Anyway, I make a bunch of stuff for them. One of the projects was shot glasses, one of the early ones,
Yep.
which was done partially to ruffle some feathers
What?
because I knew it was a
Cool
humorous
project.
build to me. It was a bit much like the Bob Claggett bit that was probably only funny to me.
No, it's funny to everyone else, just not Bob.
He doesn't know about it.
So, I mean, in case anybody didn't see it, it was just laminating a bunch of pallet slats together into like a bunch of pallet sticks, and then I chopped it up into like 3-inch sections, and then turned them into wooden shot glasses.
How many were there?
For the video, there was 100. I think I ended up
Yeah.
with a little extra, like 140.
Oh, you do hate yourself.
Yeah.
It's real bad.
It's funny how many requests I get from like whatever the companies that make like business cards and like, you know, stuff for like corporate, whatever you call those places. And they're like, hey, how much are shot glasses if we want to buy some shot glasses?
$800
Yeah.
each.
A shot glass.
I've gotten to the point where I just write them back and I say, you can't afford them. It's too much.
Right. If you have to ask, you can't. afford it.
Yeah.
Hey,
I was
you've
like,
done that before.
I'm going to be straight with you guys. You don't want to buy these. Promotional
that's
companies.
ridiculous.
That's the word I'm looking
There you
for.
go. Yeah, yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Swag,
So-
merchandise, and swag.
Because it's made out of pallet wood, and pallets people think are just covered in, you know, rat urine or whatever.
Yep.
People freaked out. I mean, there is cause for concern to a point, but not really. They're wooden cups. You're not going to use them anyway. Even if they were made from fresh wood, they're not meant to be used for real. Thanks. Interesting.
That's a shot glass for Dan.
Yeah. Jackman size shot glass. So that was kind of the whole joke with it. And there was so many of those comments, I had to block certain terms from the comment section. And I made a pinned comment that's, you know, listed out all the safety concerns with pallet wood, like, you know, telling sometimes they're chemically treated. I've never seen a chemically treated one, but they are out there. If I haven't seen one, you know, that means something.
It's pretty rare.
Right. They're
Yeah.
heat treated. They're like baked in an oven to fumigate them because they travel internationally. So you don't want to bring bugs or whatever.
Bugs.
from
Yeah, yeah.
another-
You're basically a pallet connoisseur at this point.
I know a little something about them.
Yeah. A
So I have-
sommelier, if you will.
So I have this whole pinned comment explaining all that stuff. And then there was one comment on there, and they're just like, "You are insane unless this is like Buddhist meditation, or you're making these for Warren Buffett. This doesn't make any sense." And Carolina Shoe is owned by H.H. Brown, which is then owned by Warren Buffett. So technically, I did make them for Warren Buffett.
Did you know that off the top of your head, or did you have to do a little research to find?
I actually did know that. So when I read their comment, I was like, "Oh,
Perfect answer.
yeah, lay
Got
up
him.
right here." I could not write my response fast enough.
That's awesome.
So that's
People are
the
so dumb.
story of Warren Buffett.
Fantastic.
Good. Dan's neighbor. in
I'll,
fact.
I'll relay
Fun
it to
fact.
him. Yes. Yeah. I'll just walk over there.
I'm sure he knows all about it.
Yeah, he's in the loop for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely see him at Menards all the time.
Carolina Shoe, one of his biggest moneymakers, I'm sure.
That's what he's known for sure.
Huge investment.
I'll let him know at the next fire pit gathering of the neighborhood.
You
block
sure
party?
it's Warren Buffett?
Yeah, block party. That's what
Block party.
words are
That's
hard.
what you guys have.
Fire pit gathering, block party, whatever.
Aaron
It's
Duffett.
funny because like there was a millwork shop that just went out of business in New Hampshire, and I bought a bunch of wood and some tools
Saw
from them. And I drove up there, and the building's for sale by Berkshire Hathaway, who is Warren Buffett's company. So I'm like,
Yep.
"Oh, hey Warren, how you doing? Like you own the world."
Full
to see you.
circle.
Yeah.
He's just selling to himself. That's how billionaires stay in business.
Right.
They sell to
He's
themselves.
everywhere.
What did you what tools did you get from that auction or from that business closing down?
I didn't get anything super exciting. I got a couple of Porter cable routers. It was like
Nice.
60
The big
bucks
ones?
or something for a pair of them. Yeah, the kind of beefy ones.
Nice. Yeah.
Like the old school ones, they never die because it's something about the bearings in them. They're like sealed bearings or something.
Yep.
I don't know exactly
Made of
what it
diamond.
is. Yeah, but I know they're bomb proof. Got a belt sander, like the really nice Makita one. That's normally like 250 bucks. Got it for like 50 bucks.
Nice.
Like really a bunch of saw blades that I don't need. But
I always keep my
Always
eye
need
open on like the local like Facebook Marketplace for shops closing down like that. I always try to because I've gotten some crazy good wood deals from those places.
That's how
and
I've
you
gotten
almost
most
feel
of my
bad.
tools.
It's so cheap.
they just want to get
I've
rid
got
of
an
it.
idea.
Right.
I've got an idea for the saw blades, Paul. Have you thought about turning them into clocks? I think it could be a thing that takes off.
That's a sharp idea there, Dan.
I had a better idea that's a little bit sharper. I was gonna make knives out of them. I don't think it's been done before.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
I like how you said
interesting.
sharper.
I wouldn't search it. I would just go full steam ahead with that idea.
Okay,
Hasn't been
cool.
done before.
Cool. You guys own the rights to that now, right?
We do.
Yeah.
Ah,
Came up with it on the show, so
So you did read the contract. Outstanding.
Okay,
saw blade knives. Okay. Well,
good. I guess Jess and Featherboards doesn't have to reach out to your lawyer.
I got 1,000 board feet of lumber from there too, which is 1,000
Ooh.
more board feet than I need.
That's
What'd you
amazing.
get? What kind of wood?
It's poplar, sapele, red oak, hickory,
Nice. Good selection.
alder. Yeah.
Did you ever?
are you gonna turn that into a pallet before you use it, or how's that
I
work?
was
Cut the
thinking about
middleman
it.
out.
Each board I have to strap to the back of my truck and drag around the block to make it nice and scratched and dirty and put some rusty nails in it.
You picked up some of that baked poplar, right? That thermally treated stuff.
Yeah.
Have you used any of that yet?
I haven't yet. It smells like firewood. It's kind of cool.
It's so weird.
Dope. I love
Yeah.
working with it. It's so good, and it looks. I mean, you get like a nice oil finish on there. It looks pretty good. It's cool stuff. It's really pretty. I'm gonna be doing the trim for my windows in my shop out of that stuff.
It looks almost like a mahogany kind of, right?
Yeah, like I mean I have some baked poplar in here right now, and it looks like walnut.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
if you get
crazy
the
how the
dark
color
bake.
changes.
Yeah, and
So
it's
nuts.
the medium does look like mahogany though, a lot like mahogany.
Damn.
So they have it
And
like they have like a light, medium, and dark.
Oh, okay.
The dark stuff is
I didn't know
brittle AF, though.
It's all brittle.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's like
Yeah.
zero moisture in it.
Yeah.
It kind of weatherproofs it too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
You can throw it in like standing water because it burns out all the tannins and stuff. Everything's
Nice.
gone. Like any cellular structure is gone.
I wish I
So
can get that around me. I can't find it anywhere.
I gotta
you
look.
actually have to seal it because if you don't, water can get into it and there's nothing for it to grab onto and it'll get moldy and it'll start to stink. So you're actually sealing water out, not for like to
Oh, really?
stop it from ruining the wood. You're doing it to keep it from getting gross and stinky. Fun fact.
Interesting.
That's interesting. Yeah, exactly.
Way to kill
As I
the
was
laughter
saying
with
it.
actual wood facts.
Sorry.
But that's actually good to know.
You
One
you
last
guys want to
question.
do Oh, Pete, take it.
Just one last one.
No, ask a bunch
So-
of them.
You do this professionally full time. You are a full content creator. Like that's basically all you do these days, right?
I call myself a part-time content creator, full-time Instagram model.
Everyone
And
knows
confirm.
Yeah.
So you said a perfect answer didn't exist, Mike. That's the perfect answer.
Part-time woodworker, full-time Instagram model.
That's really cool. So you're basically just, modeling most of the time and then just making a couple YouTube videos. Just throw them out there.
That's
Yeah,
more true than it is false.
And you are the king of Photoshop too. You've got some of the sickest editing skills out there.
Touch-ups.
Touch-ups. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Touch-ups. I don't mean to offend.
I got a big head,
And
For
a big butt.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know where that was going.
I cannot lie, Mike. I cannot
NT
lie.
Mike had his
17.
finger on the bleep button.
I was like,
You're-
and a huge but,
Jacket.
My pallets bring all the boys to the yard.
that's the truth.
Uh,
Your full-time content, full-time model, part-time content for your, do you keep yourself to a YouTube schedule?
No, I used to.
I didn't figure you would.
Yeah, when I started, I was doing weekly videos, which was good. I think it helped my growth. I don't really know. Nobody knows.
No one
Like
knows.
No. Anybody that tells you the secret to growing or whatever.
Pulling out of their butt.
The secret is that they don't know.
Right.
But I don't know. When I started,
Bob
I was,
Claggett does not like them.
doesn't like anybody.
It's just a douche. Everyone knows that about Bob.
Too far.
Like, tone it down.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
The button. I'm hitting the button.
It was a joke. I love Bob. It's great.
Oh, he's never gonna be on the show.
Yeah, he doesn't even know what a podcast is. Wait, he does a podcast. Oh God, no.
Like, stop.
It's getting worse. Bob's the worst.
Oh,
Go ahead.
God.
What was the question?
I don't know.
He was asking. So you're a trophy wife, right? Or trophy.
Trophy
I call
husband.
myself a proud coastie wife.
Ooh.
Oh, I like that.
Nice.
I mean, I actually, when I first started getting into woodworking like 3 years ago, you're one of the first channels that I glommed onto. You and Bob and Jimmy, obviously, all these guys. And I remember, I guess it was before DC Shop. You were in that shop that was, in Rhode Island. But that was, I mean, I remember watching that and then just the progression. Cause I mean, that must have been when you were doing weekly or videos, right? Was Rhode Island?
It was back then. Yeah, that was the first shop.
Yeah, I remember.
Well, the first
I remember
full-time shop.
Right. I remember watching those, and this is gonna sound like I'm
Go ahead.
brown nosing, but I mean, it makes sense that like
Are you gonna
now
start
where you're
crying? I feel like
I
he's
just
gonna start
love
crying.
you. And no, it makes sense now because I mean, you have to put out content that is of caliber that you for your channel, and then when you put yourself on a schedule, you can't guarantee the caliber there. You know, it's quantity over quality kind of a thing. Doesn't really pencil out. So that's kind of why I asked. I mean, you kind of come up with a concept, right? You think, okay, how can I take this pallet wood and troll the most people? I don't care how long it's going to take, but I'm going to make a project out of this. I mean, and then you kind of make a project.
And
out
you
of it, right?
can't put some of this on a schedule because
no, like that vase took me 2 months to make.
Yeah,
Right.
That was.
And like I always tell people I'm not a very good business person. Like if I was trying to make money, I wouldn't do anything that I do. But I do enjoy it. Like I got the vision of that vase in my head, and I was like, "All right, I have to make that now. Let's see how long that takes."
That's so awesome, man. I love that you're able to.
Are you self-taught on a lathe? Last question, I promise.
I mean, I did it a bit in high school, but like all the segmented turning and stuff, I learned from Kyle Toth basically on YouTube by watching his videos.
I've seen you like it's some of the jigs you use and everything, like, especially when you're turning that vase with like a light in there, trying to like scrape the inside.
Yeah,
that was nuts.
that was an idea. Me and Pat Lapp kind of came up with that. I was talking it out with him. Like you have to go into something like that with a game plan. You know, glue stuff up in the right order and not go too far that you can't, go backwards a step.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was glued up in 2 sections, which I basically turned those as bowls, and then I glued those 2 things together, and then I just need to clean up the seam on the inside. So I made a custom lathe tool with some steel bar stock and drilled and tapped a hole for a carbide insert on the inside. And I couldn't see because it was dark inside. So I just like duct taped a flashlight. It was so funny because I like turned this pallet wood handle. It's like this laminated pallet wood handle. It's all like super sexy. And then I duct tape a flashlight on the end of it.
Oh God.
But I mean, yeah, I started off with a schedule just to get some content out there. And you just kind of have to make a presence and show people who you are and what you do. And that helped me learn how to edit videos too, because that's something I went into YouTube not knowing what I was doing. Like I went to a Voc Tech high school, so I knew woodworking. I had like a foundation knowledge in that, and I knew nothing about video editing. So that was brand new. I was learning all that as I went. And each video I try to add something new, some new editing skill or some new trick in there. And it's kind of just slowly grown.
It's fun because editing's cool, man. I mean, you get to it's like another creative outlet. I'm sure I mean, most of the people who do content, I mean, it's like woodworking isn't obviously, or making or any of that stuff. You get this whole creative outlet you get to enjoy. Before I got, onto social media or whatever, I never owned a camera. I was never on social media, but you get into editing stuff and it's just, it's amazing. You can take some raw footage, give it to another person. It's a completely different video. That's where the person's personality comes out, I guess, is through that editing. It's so cool. I mean, your style, I mean, you can see your video and know that it's your video, or you can see a lot of time you can see a lot of people's videos and go, oh, I know who that is, without even knowing what the content is. Yeah. Just how the intro's done and all that stuff. It's just so cool.
His head is big. I know him.
Look at that dump truck of a, anyways.
And are you still shooting on that Sony that you have?
Yeah. Yeah. I got the Sony 6600.
So you do photography and video on that?
Yeah.
And then editing in Premiere?
Yep.
I'm asking because our patrons ask us a lot about our setup,
okay.
what we use. So
Yeah, it's a 6600 Sony with a Sigma 18 to 35, I think.
The 1.4,
The 1.8.
1.8. Oh,
It's
yeah,
the f1.8, the art lens. It's made for
Right.
Canons, but there's a adapter to fit on the
Yeah.
Sony. It's a constant f1.8, so it's sexy.
very nice.
And it's internal zoom and internal focus, so there's no moving parts that are going to collect dust in a wood shop.
Oh, very nice.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's smart.
But it weighs approximately the same as my head. It's,
Pre-
Your
or
head
post-shrink.
photoshopped or unphotoshopped?
yes.
It's heavier throughout the shot. All right. Should we jump into some questions?
Well, I mean, we haven't really talked about what we're doing on our bench. Do we want to go over that stuff? We want to go around round robin on that, or just kind of jump
We
into some
probably
questions?
should. That's kind
We'll
of
do a quick one.
Yeah, sure. We'll start with you, Dan.
me.
Well, you're Dan, right?
Dan, you're Dan.
Unless
Are you
something
Dan?
drastically changed in a very short period of time.
Oh,
I got something I want to tell you guys.
oh God.
God.
So I'm currently working on the teak shower floor that I've been talking about for the last 6 months. I've finally been able to start working on it. This thing is massive. Shower floor that is 47 inches by 70 inches, solid teak. It's almost done. I just cut a ton of dados. I did like 250 dados in 9 slats. So 10 slats, 25 dados, 10 slats, whatever. Math is hard. That's what I'm working on. My to-do list is getting insanely big. I'm at the point of needing to hire help. Like
Hey, we're hiring your
legitimately.
brother-in-law? Brother? Weren't you
Mm.
hiring someone for help?
Well, not technically. I mean, let's pretend
Pete's
like
not picking up.
this.
Yeah, Pete's not picking up that you don't want to mention that on the episode because you can't legally have an employee.
Right.
Getting
So
help in the shop for pizza.
I'm looking at hiring people, Pete. I haven't done it yet.
He's not paying him, he's trading favors, so he doesn't have to pay
Right.
taxes on it.
Yes. Perhaps.
I'm bad at reading between the lines.
Or the actual lines.
I'm bad at reading on the lines.
And yeah, that's it. Teak shower floor. It's almost finished. I need to find a way to attach some sort of leveling feet to it. So I haven't figured that out quite yet, but I'll figure it out when I get there. Mike, what do you got?
I just finished up some like tool wall stuff this week just in the shop, but I've got the 3 tables going right now. I got our coffee table. I've got the coffee table for my CPA, and then I've got a coffee table for or I've got that table for that lady who I flattened those slabs for. She's bringing the whole thing to me now, so she doesn't know what she's doing. So she wants it to be wider, so I gotta go find another walnut slab for her, dimension all that, and then add it in as a third panel into that table because she wants it to be 40 inches wide. So it's 40 inches by 8 foot. So I'm working on that this next week. This weekend, I'm working on getting this loft insulated so I can move all my office stuff up there. I'm hoping to have that done by like next weekend. So that'd be really nice to have everything set up there. And then I'm going to start making a bench out of these elm slabs that I got. So did I say bench? I meant desk.
Desk.
I meant desk. I'm going to be making a desk for that for up there. So just a big long desk that can have all my stuff on there, so I can do the podcast up there and all my editing and all my business stuff and everything up there with that. So yeah, I mean, if we're going to just blast through the what's on my bench this week, that's kind of really it. So what about you, Pete?
I knocked out a bunch of custom orders. So I've been getting custom 3D printing design orders that I've been knocking out. I got a couple of CNC orders and laser orders. I'm trying to monetize my laser and my CNC a little better because those two have been fun, but they're not really bringing in any cash. They're just fun toys. So trying to justify the purchase so the wife's not mad. But yeah, that's aside from that, I mean, it's
Does
pretty
she
much
get mad at you about that stuff?
No, she doesn't.
Doesn't seem like Emma
She's
cares.
super.
Yeah,
She's like super supportive.
He
It's-
said that
you-
Emma told him to buy the laser.
Yeah, you, like,
she
you always like play the like honeymooners bit, like
she loves the laser.
I met her once and she seemed like
a real monster.
oh yeah.
She listens to this, Paul. She's gonna be mad. She's a big
She
fan.
seemed like a tough person to live with, you know.
She actually, full
She's-
disclosure, when we were at the woodworking shows, she was like, "That's Paul Jackman." I was like, "How do you know that?"
She has his calendar.
Honestly,
Yeah.
she's probably nicer than Bob.
Yeah.
Who isn't though? I mean, that guy's a monster.
Oh
Human trafficking. No, I'm just
They're gonna
joking.
be on here. But yeah, I've just been knocking out a bunch of custom like design orders for people, and
I'm gonna have to put a very
I-
serious like Bob Claggett's a wonderful person like
I'll put it in the
voiceover
show
throughout
notes.
this whole. Okay, thank
It's,
you.
it's a bit. It's a bit.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
a
you need
bit-
to put that at the beginning.
but
of the
does he
Yeah, I
know
do.
it's a bit?
Just FYI,
doesn't
Bob's
There were no
wonderful.
Bob Claggett's hurt in the making of this podcast. Aside from that,
Sorry,
I
Pete.
put in my 6-week notice at the woodworking school because I'm booked out for 6 weeks already. So I'm officially like I love you guys, but I just can't afford to work here and still like keep up with my stuff. So it's sad to say goodbye, but you know I still got 6 weeks.
It's gonna be good for you, man. Lightening up
Good
your
for me.
schedule is gonna be really good.
Yeah, I do. I genuinely really enjoy teaching. I love being there and helping out. But it's time. It's time to move on, and then eventually open up my own woodworking school. Not like trying to make competition or anything, but you know, it's happening. You going down?
You'll show them.
I don't think she listens. The owner listens to this podcast.
Probably not.
He's gonna start
That's
some
all I
like
got.
woodworking gang attacks in Jersey. It's like East Side Woodworking School and West Side Woodworking School.
If it makes sense
totally.
anywhere, it's in Jersey.
Yeah, it's a lot of just flicking wrists and snapping. But we're at the lumber yard, just different aisles.
Yeah.
What about the guys who don't have saw stops? They can't do that.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Oh snap!
Yeah,
Oh,
not really.
Snap.
They have this-
That was
That's for
terrible
all
and
you
wonderful.
guys in the back.
That's it. And with that smooth transition, questions?
We're not going to ask Paul what's on his bench.
Yeah. What the
I
heck,
guess.
Pete?
Oh, Paul, what's in your bench? I thought.
Oh, me, Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shop organization. I'm still putting the pieces together. I've been spending a lot of time on Dr. Fauci's OnlyFans page, and I'm making candles. Next. Next.
Fantastic. No, we got to finish laughing. That was good.
Dan pointed out to me that you are an incredible person to follow on Facebook. I was not disappointed.
Oh yeah, he's a great
Yeah,
follow on
you
Facebook.
are very outspoken, and I love you.
Oh, my personal page.
It-
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your personal
Yeah,
page.
Love it.
I have some opinions that came out this spring because of stuff that was happening in DC.
Yeah. Weird. Weird
Yeah.
how that happens.
Yeah.
I was gonna make a Claggett joke, but I'm gonna pull back on those. So
Dial it back, man. Dial it back.
Candles.
Paco. That's Paco.
Paco.
The podcast.
the podcast.
the podcast.
Nope, that was bad. It was better in my head. All right,
That was a Petri joke. Very nice.
I know I stole your
Proud of you,
material,
buddy.
sorry. Let's I mean we've kind of gone into some of this, but let's jump into this question from Andrew Deering. It's for Paul, so let's get this going.
Hey, this is Andy Dearing from STL Dearing Designs. Question for Paul. Now that you've moved into your new shop, what's the biggest or the best thing that you like about being in your new shop? Whether it be space or tools or ability to do certain things. Just kind of interested now that you've moved into a bigger space. Thanks as always, guys. Appreciate it.
Paul, what do you like about your shop?
It's bigger.
He said bigger and best. What's the best?
Best.
The bester.
I mean, the view's not bad.
You're
That
right
is a
on the
dope
water,
view.
aren't you?
Yeah.
Speaking of the view,
It's-
if you don't mind, I think you need more windows because I find it hard to see inside with the lack of windows that you have. I need more windows.
Okay, Mr. FBI man.
Actually, weird question. Do you have any issues with like moisture? Is stuff extra damp because you're so close to the water?
I've noticed more rust on stuff.
Oh, okay.
I was doing something. I think it was my lathe. I was like trying to take out a piece from the tailstock, and it's like the taper or whatever you call it,
Mhm.
and it was like stuck in there because it was like just a little bit of rust,
Dang.
like just enough. So
I'm trying to remember. I think it was
see
Tamar.
that
She
works
she
out.
would was like out of her shop for a week. I mean, I'm in California, so none of this makes any sense to me with moisture.
Yeah.
She was out of her shop for a week, and her bandsaw looked like someone threw it in the Potomac River.
really?
It was
Yeah.
it was like completely rusted over. I was like, it looked terrible. I don't.
Yeah,
is
that's
that like
all of Facebook
normal?
Marketplace up here in the Northeast.
I mean,
Yeah.
is
Rusted
it like
tools.
that? Like,
Every piece of machinery I've ever bought has been orange
Yeah.
because it's just covered in rust.
Yeah, somebody forgets about it for
Or
like
it's-
a week.
Or it's rigid.
is
So
I mean, is that like a? This is a lame question. It's not, but how often do you have to maintain your cast iron over there? I really don't know. It's just crazy to me.
in my not really
Yeah,
climate
for you.
controlled shop, but like attached to the house shop, I
Mhm.
don't unless I do something to it. Maybe once a year I touch it up.
Oh, really?
But
Okay.
People that just like leave it in their shops that are like detached, no climate control, just humidity, rain, everything getting in there. It gets
Like
bad.
Paul.
Like I wasn't kidding. Like every tool I've ever
Yeah.
bought has been severely rusted. What about
Is
you?
it like that for you, Paul?
I mean, the cast iron surfaces aren't too bad. I keep them oiled, or
Yeah.
what I put on
Paste
it.
wax.
Paste wax.
T9.
T9 bow shield. Yeah. That's what I
Yeah,
use
that's
too.
the stuff. I just put like a really thick layer. When I brought the table saw upstairs, I had to take it all apart, took all the cast iron off, brought up the motor base part of it, and then put the cast iron back on. And then I just put on like a thick layer of T9 and just let it dry for like a week. So I'm hoping it'll be good for a while. I mean, like the shaft of my lathe, I shouldn't have.
Family show.
Interesting.
I left too much of a space between those two words. The shaft of my lathe tools.
I'm
a
gonna
little
edit like
rusty.
15 seconds of dead air between those.
The shaft of my life tools.
And then I couldn't put the words together afterwards, so it made it
Right.
worse. Yeah, so I noticed those get a little rusty. So we'll see. Over time, it hasn't even been a year yet, so we'll see as we go through the seasons what it looks like. Because we moved here in like August, so we didn't even get here in like the height of summer, which I'm sure is pretty. I mean, like even DC was surprisingly humid. Like DC, it's funny. DC is like literally swampy.
I mean, didn't they
Like-
build it on a swamp? I think it's like
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought
literally
they were
that's-
trying to
like-
drain
It's
that.
like Disneyland.
Right.
Hey, look at you did.
That's what I was getting at. I was trying to say it
What,
without saying it, but Dan opened up that can of worms.
Ah,
What I mean, you said you were talking in the pre-show about trying to buy that place at some point. I mean, how much property is that?
It's about an acre, I think, between the house and,
Oh, that's
and the barn. So
I mean, is that something like if you were to buy it, could you build more on there? I mean, it seems like you could with that where that lake is
I think
or
technically
the pond.
It's right. We're trying to get rid of that.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely. Mac went out there with a bobcat the other day and tried again to scrape it up. We're trying to basically every storm we see where the puddle forms, and then we just kind of
Mhm.
reshape the earth. And we figure by the spring, like we'll be good. Put down
It's
some
gonna be
grass
perfect.
seed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be nice.
It was.
That's how
did
that
you guys see
works.
the stories when the UPS truck drove through?
Yes.
no, I missed it.
So we're on a dead end road. It's like a tiny little
Mm.
dead end road, and our lawn is dirt because we're trying to like level it out because there's like a little depression that's been
Impression,
gathering
yeah.
water every time that you get a big rainstorm. So we've been trying to level that out, and then one day the UPS truck decided that looked like a good spot to turn around in the middle of our lawn, and didn't realize like it wasn't dirt, it was mud, and almost got stuck. He was spinning his tires, and after a couple minutes, he finally got out of there. A couple weeks later, Amazon truck, same like big UPS sized Amazon truck, couldn't get out, got stuck, and I had to pull him out. I put a strap on the ridge line and pulled him out of there,
Put
On the
another
ridge line.
dead air.
which was funny. It's like I'll pull you out with my truck, and I pull up with my ridge line. He's like looking at me. funny. Yeah.
I don't know if you know about this about Dan, but Dan, do you want to tell him?
I drive a Silverado.
He's kind of a big deal.
Such
Not
a
a big deal.
douchebag.
So you have truck nuts, yeah?
No,
Camo truck
I
nuts.
live in Nebraska, but I draw the line at truck nuts.
That was a project idea I've been wanting to pitch to
Oh my
Harvard.
god! Please,
Power
please,
car
yes.
with truck nuts, but the ridge line is not super high off the ground, so I was going to make it so they just drag on the ground just a little bit.
Have you
So
thought
as
about
I'm
making
driving,
it
they're
wide
just like-
instead of long?
Yeah, they just skip on the ground.
That would be incredible.
But they have to be
And, like-
extra stretched like a teardrop.
Right.
And like put a little metal on the bottom of them,
Ooh,
of them, so
of
they
course,
spark a little bit.
Roller skate wheels.
Center.
Oh, the old school roller skate wheels like mounted inside.
Right.
So
I'm
they
glad
just
we're
ride on
brainstorming
the
this
thing.
right now.
Yeah, this is,
Obviously,
And we own
we
them.
needed our
our
help,
ideas if you do
Our
them.
idea.
Oh, you own this one too.
Yeah.
But that's
Hey.
fine. We'll
Should have brought that up.
we'll hire you.
Shouldn't have brought that up.
You guys will pitch it to Arbortech for me, so I don't have to do it. So
Right.
that's fine.
Yeah, let me shoot him a message right now.
Yep.
Still
So I
message
got this
request.
idea.
The funny thing is, they might say yes to that.
Noted.
That's cool.
And who's doing it?
brands.
Paul's doing it.
Yep.
Sold.
Right.
Um,
I'm just working my way through the body parts, so it was a matter of time anyway.
eventually you'll have a full girl boy robot.
Right.
Let's jump into this question from Wooden Whiskers Trade Co.
This is going so much like the Askcast, where I don't think I answered that question at all.
Did
but
you?
we went on for 10 minutes. I don't know.
I mean,
It doesn't
Biggest
matter.
thing
It's
I like
fun.
about the shop
This
is the size.
The size and the view?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the view.
View. Yeah.
But Mike asked you about the view. I
Yeah.
think. I don't know.
I don't know. Who knows? It was
We'll
so
call
long
it-
ago.
we'll call
Who
it
can
good.
even remember?
Great job, champ. You did it.
Check. Good job. Go team. Wooden Whiskers Trading Co. has this to ask.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yo,
This is
yo, yo.
Tyler from Wooden Whiskers Trading Company, and I got a couple questions for Paul and the boys. So, first question I got is, what's the current record for the farthest cabbage thrown with the trebuchet? I'd really like to know that. And my second question is, what draws your inspiration? How do you go about thinking about building a big design and jumping into it? Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Paul,
That's all, Paul.
answer the man's questions.
I'm trying to look it up now. I should have done this before, but I believe the hold on, I'm finding
He's
it
looking
now.
up the cabbage records.
Right, the record for the cabbage was I think negative 81 feet, if I'm remembering right. That doesn't include the vertical because that was a bigger number, a much bigger number. Because the thing with cabbage is it has
500 up.
leaves.
31 negative.
It was probably about that, honestly.
Dan, show title.
Sorry, I
It's-
missed it. You have to repeat.
Said 500 up, 31 negative.
it was funny because like cabbage has leaves on it, and we, when you throw it, it somehow slipped out of the sling because the leaves like slipped on each other.
Watch it.
So we threw it and didn't know where it went. And all of a sudden we're just like standing there looking for it, looking up, don't know where it is. It was like starting to get dark. So it was hard to see already.
They're that long?
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
we
we
don't-
hear 10, 15 seconds later, bang. And it's behind us. So it went over Zach's shop and then hit a tree behind the shop, like, I don't know, 50, 60 feet away.
Oh my
It's
god.
fantastic.
It was great.
My face.
That is fantastic. That was, I mean, you guys made that right around Workbench Con, right? Because you guys were wearing
Yes.
the stupid outfits.
Yes.
So that was a whole bit for Workbench Con. That was the
Right.
Whole
I
Yeah.
forget the name of your class. What was the name of your class? I was there.
You're doing it wrong.
You're doing
right?
it wrong.
Yes, you purposely spelled your.
Wait.
That's
Yes.
the movie poster there.
Yes. So good.
The whole
Didn't you have to like fight Workbench Con to get them to approve that title?
It was hard because I told them, I was like, it's spelled wrong on purpose. Like if I didn't tell them that, they would have made it. If I spelt it right, they would have typed it wrong and made a typo. And because I told them, they have a history of doing that. I told them, I was like, it's spelled wrong on purpose. Like, just leave it that way, please. Because
Does the guy who does their print media is the same guy who does their audio?
probably.
Anyway.
But yeah, it was a joke called "You're Doing It Wrong," a
Right.
very authoritative title, but it was spelled wrong.
Felt wrong, right?
And when I thought of that idea, Zach's like, "Nobody's gonna get it," and I said, "I know, but I'm gonna do it anyway because it's funny."
Funny in your head.
I love it.
Right. So I'm
Flag-
still
flag it.
getting comments. Yeah,
Bob
it's
hates
a
it.
bit that's funny for me. Nobody.
Right.
There's
You do this for you. And that's
Yeah.
we respect that.
You're living the dream.
Yeah.
Right.
Jokes are for you.
No one
Content's
gets
for
the
you.
jokes. It's just for me.
He's
the
like
dots are starting. to
Paul's
connect.
like the Andy Kaufman of the woodworking world. I've solved it.
You're older than we are.
Oh,
I totally get that reference, Grandpa.
Andy Kaufman. Is it like Ariana Grande these days?
I will cut you.
Oh wait,
we should talk about Workbench Con though, because that was pretty funny. Did any of you guys go to the class?
Oh,
I don't know if
I
I went to your
would've,
class. I
but I
mean, if
got-
it was spelled right, I would have went. But
Didn't we go to the class together, Dan?
did we? I don't know.
I thought so.
Workbench Con is kind of a blur. I thought we thought we established this.
Our last
we had
guest,
Justin
you didn't
on.
realize he met.
I may or may not have had booze.
Oh, Dan has an issue. We're going to address it by episode 50.
Dehydration. Yeah, I was not there because I wasn't cool enough to go yet.
You weren't there because you weren't there.
Yeah.
There's also that.
Means
Yeah. But yeah,
missed opportunity.
so the whole bit with you're doing it wrong is we built a trebuchet, and me and Zach Herberholz, ZH Fabrications, I went out to his shop in Ohio, built this trebuchet, welded it up, attached it to a Harbor Freight trailer, and then threw a bunch of stuff with it and made like a mini documentary out of that, the process, and then throwing stuff with the trebuchet. And the whole summary was we both got a speaking fee of $2,000 from Workbench Con, put that together, and spent 100% of the money to make this video and make the trebuchet.
And the suits.
And yeah, we got outfits at Goodwill. That was all part of it. That was all deducted off in the video. Yep. So as you watch the video, there's a bunch of little deductions on the bottom of the screen, and that's coming off of the budget that we had for the bill. And yeah, we like had these outfits, and the outfits we got to launch stuff off with the trebuchet at the end of the video, but we also wore those outfits to Workbench Con, to our presentation for both days. And Zach had this like crazy cowboy hat and this like powder blue suit, and I had
tie.
And the bolo tie. We had to special order that on Amazon. He's like, I have to have a bolo tie. We couldn't find one anywhere. Had to order on Amazon. And then I had this green suit that
Think Dumb and Dumber.
it was
but
yeah,
better.
it went almost down to my knees. And I was calling it Iranian porn bouncer. That was like the genre that it looked like to me.
Can that be the show title?
Yep.
Porn bouncer.
Yeah. It's like the guy that stands at the door is like, no, you can't come in here. We're shooting a porn
Shooting a porn.
in Iran.
In Iran.
The imagery is so clear.
I'm curious now. I'm curious if anybody's listening to this and hasn't seen the video and seen the pictures, if what they're picturing is what I looked like.
You need to, if you haven't seen it and you're picturing this in your head, you need to draw it with crayons on construction paper and send it to another Woodshop podcast.
Another Wishop podcast.
Please.
We want mock-ups, please.
That's fantastic.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh god.
Yeah, so we did a whole presentation, and the whole point of the presentation was to not take yourself too seriously, not worry about the numbers too much, and the fact that the secret is that nobody knows the secret. And basically all the other talks at Workbench Con are just made up stuff.
Right. They're specific, like this is how you do it. Here's the equation, but no one knows. You apply those things and it doesn't even it's
Something that works
100% right.
Like look at Brad and look at me. Like we do the same thing technically, but in a very, very different way. So something that works for him wouldn't necessarily work for me, and the other way around.
It's about the person on the screen, and that's about it. But you
Have you
can't
ever
even like
thought that-
factor that into an equation.
Brad has a smaller head. You think that has anything to do with it?
Yeah, it's why he's
It doesn't
missing out.
help.
He's missing out on followers.
It's definitely not good.
Yeah. I can't say it hurts, but it doesn't help. But it was kind of funny because like during the presentation, like we're walking like so one extreme, like money doesn't matter, spend it on your presentation. We made no money. Like we probably lost money on that whole going to speak and stuff. And then we kind of by the end of the presentation kind of walked to the middle. It's like, some optimization is good. You want to tag your Instagram posts and stuff like that, but reasonable, don't because me and Zach both had the experience of like going to the first Workbench Con, and we saw some people that were coming up. They were brand new to the maker world and content creation, and they're like, how do I make it? Like they were really just getting nervous and like, what's the formula? How do I do this? Like what are the answers? And like I saw him talking to a couple of people from like a bigger channel, and I was just like standing back watching this interaction, and the guy was taking notes, asking them questions like, how did you grow your channel? How did you, and was taking notes.
Well,
And I was like, this is wrong.
Yeah.
This shouldn't be how it is. Like, we make stuff because it's fun and we enjoy it. And if we start taking notes about a formula to,
and we get those questions here. I mean, we're not like vastly successful. But we get those questions here, and it's like
no
you can't-
Bob
you just don't-
Claggett's.
Yeah, we're
Let's be honest.
who is. We get those questions here, and it's like, man, you really don't want to think about that stuff. That isn't. You just kind of got to go down your path and figure it out. I mean, you'll it's right when it's right when it's right, and it's not right when it's not right. Some people it's just not for. Unfortunately, I mean, you want it, but I mean, who knows where it's going to end up for anyone? I mean, and who knows how long it's going to last? So, I mean,
you have to be narcissistic enough to make it.
Yep,
That's a big part of it.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have.
I was told.
You have to.
Yeah, go ahead. I was going to say you have to have the inflated.
It's my turn. No, I'm just joking.
I was told.
Guys, all at a time, all at the same time. Go
Mike,
now.
You got it. That's what you need to be successful. Me.
Go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
I was just going to make a joke about the guy who called me a narcissistic, ego inflated, whatever.
Jackman?
No, the other
Bob
guy.
Claggett.
Yeah,
the other guy. The other guy in my DMs the other day.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing. Like, people are like, there's like a lot of stuff you just cannot control.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're like with like Dan's video. Pete and I were just talking today. Like, I don't understand how Dan's video got to 2 million views. It makes
It's
no
amazing.
sense.
I
amazing.
painted a wooden paneling wall and got over 1 million views on it.
You were in your underwear.
Well, they didn't see that, but they felt it. You're right. They felt it in the video.
It had real underwear energy.
Like,
that
you
video,
just never know what's
It
gonna
had a
pop
vibe.
off.
so to speak. Yeah, it's just kind of like it's just kind of
Underwear
like good,
energy.
it's
another
good
one.
place, good time kind of thing sometimes. But I mean, it's there's a lot of factors. There's no one equation at
Yeah.
all. I hate getting those questions and trying to answer them for people because you almost
really
feel
is
bad
so
like you're
different.
bursting their bubble. But
Right.
Because we all keep
there's no
trying
answer.
each other's things and
Right.
it's not working.
and you have
Yeah,
to just
so
stop.
If you back up and act as like a spectator, it's kind of funny. Like, wireless charging tables. There was one, it was either Maleki or Brad. One of them made a wireless charging coffee table, or it was something with a wireless charger. And then if you sat back and watched your subscription box over the next few months, there was all these wireless charging videos because his took off and
It's-
got millions of views.
it's
And then
super
you saw
annoying.
all these other ones like clockwork, and none of them did as well. Like, the secret wasn't the wireless charging; it was something else.
No.
Who knows
Right.
what it
Yeah.
was? But it's just kind of funny to see how that
It's-
works and see how that happens.
It's almost I don't want to say it's almost sad. It's almost sad because people like are trying to they want to do the thing the other person did that got them success. They should just do the thing that they want to do and hope that it gets them. I mean, if they even want success from it, if they want success from it, just do the thing you enjoy doing and hope for the best, kind of a thing. Like,
Right.
don't
That-
sculpt your content towards what's doing well. Do what you want to do and hopefully gain success from that.
That was kind of the lesson from our Workbench Con talk 2 years ago, which was called F the Formula, which
Right.
somehow we got through.
Was it
And
just F the letter or EFF?
it was like F asterisk asterisk asterisk. It was funny because once we showed up, like on the website, they had it all correct. It all looked good. I like, it was the same thing. Like, it's supposed to be censored. It's supposed to be a little bit inflammatory and fun.
Right.
And on the schedule that they printed out, it said follow the formula. Right.
No.
Right. It's like that's the exact opposite of what we're trying to talk
Opposite.
about.
Well, I mean, and it's like what they're selling, right? I mean, at WorkbenchCon, they're selling like you can go there and get the
Yeah.
secrets to fame and fortune, and there's just doesn't exist.
So the lesson learned from that like our summary on that presentation was, you can't be a leader if you're following. Like, you need
Right.
to invent your own, like, be the wireless charging, but something else.
Right.
And our
Be
metaphor
the
for
epoxy
that,
river table.
exactly, yeah, be your own epoxy river table or tensegrity table or whatever it is.
Oh
You
my
can't
integrity.
say
Oh,
river
man.
table anymore. It's
So
What?
well, river table. We can't say that, right? We don't own it.
Why?
Because
Oh,
yeah,
didn't
'cause
that
the guy
guy
was
like
suing
sue
everyone?
everyone?
we owe him like $20 now because we said it like 4
Oh,
times.
sorry.
Greg, what's his face? I forget it.
Elongated body of water table. So
So the metaphor from that presentation was the army ant death spiral. And it's this concept with army ants where they put off pheromones. So they have very bad sense of sight, but they follow a line by following the pheromone trail of the ant in front of them. So they follow the ant directly in front of them, then that's how they form a line, by following the leader. And if they lose that scent trail, they all start marching in a circle in this big group of just this circle of ants, and they do that until they die. So that was our life lesson: is don't be the army ant death spiral.
That's good. I like that. That's really good.
So
I came here to do a podcast and I learned things about ants.
So that is the current record for the cabbage throw.
Interesting.
Exactly. Army ant, the answer to that question is army ant death spiral.
Hey, I hate to break up the party, but we're an hour in and we still haven't done the giveaway.
Do your giveaway. Yeah, do your giveaway.
Wait, there's a
Your
second
giveaway
part
thing.
question. You do it real quick.
Well, let's do the giveaway. Let's Dan do his giveaway, and then we'll do the. I don't even know what the second part of the question was. What was it?
Was there a second part to the question?
How do you draw your inspiration?
Oh yeah, let's go to that next after the giveaway. Do your giveaway, Dan. Do your thing.
This week, thanks to Macbeth Hardwood, we are giving away a set, ladies and gentlemen, as in two 24-inch jet parallel clamps. That's $120 value. Oh. We have a code word for this week. Well, actually, we have a couple options.
Iranian porn bouncer, which I'm pretty sure has to be the show title.
That's going to be the show title. I wasn't even gonna mention that one because that's bar none show title.
I'm gonna put it
Artisan
for
clickbots.
That's one.
Good. I'm gonna vote for Dr. Fauci's OnlyFans.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
That's the winner. That's the winner.
Hold on, I got other options.
Oh.
Underwear energy.
Okay.
Weak boo.
Or 8 degrees of Warren Buffett.
Okay, that's not bad.
I kind of like that. Yeah.
Well, let's give it to Paul. I like Dr. Fauci's
pallet wood piss bucket.
Pallet wood piss funnel.
500 up, 31 negative. That's all I got.
No, let's go with Dr. Fauci's OnlyFans.
Maybe that needs to be the title, though. That's pretty good, too. Yeah, Iranian porn bouncer. That's great. Let's go with that.
Got to make a decision here, folks.
Especially if it has my name in the title, Iranian porn bouncer, Paul Jackman.
Special guest.
A Jackman-size Iranian porn bouncer. Is that too long?
It's too long.
I mean, the first words of the show notes are Paul Jackman is here. So you'll pop right up at the top.
Did we pay him extra for that?
He paid us extra.
Oh.
And then I spent all that money to put on this podcast.
Right, to put on this podcast.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, your code word, ladies and gentlemen.
Are you surprised I haven't been invited back to WorkbenchCon?
I know, it's kind of shocking.
It's not COVID.
This right here, actually,
right here.
you're known for killing a podcast. I think you killed WorkbenchCon. This is on you.
Oh my God.
It's not happening this year, right? So
it's all coming together.
That's the only explanation.
All right.
Anyway,
Dr. Fauci's OnlyFans is the code phrase this week for the Macbeth Hardwood giveaway. Send that to us in an email to awpgiveaway@gmail.com. Thank you. Back to the show.
The winner of last week or this week?
I didn't miss him. Oh, I didn't say it, if that's what you meant.
Let's mention him. Might as well.
Mention it.
Yeah, the winner last week and
Did I
won
into a fire ant death spiral or whatever it is?
Army ant death spiral.
I'm still in the spiral. I'm not dead yet. The winner last week was Brian Tibitho. Tibitho. He won the Payne Brothers Premium Knife Supply Demacus Knife and Sheath Kit. Thanks to Macbeth Hardwood. Good job, Brian. Brian. I sent your info to Rusty over at Macbeth. You should be getting your package soon. Let's go back to the show.
We good? Let's go back to the show because it's honestly a ton of fun. I mean, Paul, how do you draw your inspiration?
With a pencil?
Boo.
I don't know. That's such a hard question to answer.
For sure.
I'm sure you've never been asked that question.
Well, you kind of answered it before. You watch other people's things that blow up, and then you do the same thing. Or we know you do the opposite.
That honestly, you're not wrong. I had this really cool.
I've learned today.
I had this really cool idea for river table before river tables were a thing, and I purposefully have not made it.
Was it an island table?
No, it was like a
on the
river.
outside?
Yeah.
He saw a bunch of people doing river tables, so he made a giant set of hands. So he went the other way.
Right. What is the opposite of a river table if it's not a giant set of hands?
You are right.
Nailed it.
100% correct.
I mean, it's tough to answer. I mean, Dan, what about you? It's a good.
Where
it's a good
do
question.
I draw my inspiration?
I know where you get it from.
Money.
Yep.
I build whatever clients pay me to build.
Yeah.
I don't get crazy projects like Paul, but I get things that are like super one-off. And
I don't have clients, so.
I mean, Warren Buffett's your client. I mean,
Weird flex.
you're just
but
being
okay.
super humble over there. Yeah, that's my inspiration. My clients. Pete.
I kind of have to agree with what I said and what Paul agreed to. It just the opposite of what's the popular thing. I hate copying. It feels really weird to me and really wrong sometimes, whether it's 3D printing and designs or woodworking, but sometimes you can't. Like everyone's made a flip top cart. Everyone's made a tool wall accessory or some kind of project.
How do you explain those square push sticks?
I guess that was dumb luck. Yeah. I just designed. I was like, oh, this is different.
It was a joke about how you copied them, but you didn't.
Did I?
It was a
I
bad
guess-
joke.
Well,
It was a
added
bad
a
joke.
tail. It's completely
bad joke.
different.
It was a bad joke.
Little push stick part. But yeah, no,
Carry
for
on.
me, it's always been about like trying to do something a little different than what I've seen because I have like very much like copy syndrome. Like I don't want to be the copycat. I don't want to do the thing that everyone's done because it feels wrong to do it. I feel like I'm just trying to ride that train. Like Paul said. That's all I got. That's my only inspiration is just not to seem like overly obvious copycat. Mike?
For me, it's just trying to get better. I mean, woodworking's so new for me. It's just trying to get better at that. And now with
I couldn't tell.
now with getting
It's
into
the beard, right?
content. Now with getting into content, I want to get better at editing and all that. I'm trying to up that for myself. It's not. I just want to get better at it. Like I always tell people now, like I never really had a passion ever until I had woodworking. So like it's something like that really is important to me on a really deep level. So I really just want to get as good at it as I can. So that's kind of my drive. And then, as of late, it's been trying to become my own boss, whatever that means. And that means, you know what I mean? I don't want, I work at my family business, and I want to do my own thing, and I'm trying to figure out what that's going to be. So I'm working towards several different things. I'm hedging my bets on several things because I really do believe, like Paul was saying, there's no like equation to becoming successful in content. You just don't know. So I'm kind of doing as much as I can with content, but I'm also building a business where I sell products to people. Paul, I know you would say you're in a pretty fortunate position to be able to do literally whatever you want and make a living on it, right? I mean, you're able to recognize that.
Living the dream.
I'm not there. I'd love to be in that position, but I'm not. And I don't know if I ever will be in that position.
Could you give me some tips on how you got there?
And take some notes.
Opposite of what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. So for me, it's just, I want to get better at woodworking, and I want to be able to, I have a family, so I have to be able to support. My wife has a job. She's very successful in her line of work. So, I'd still need to be able to provide, and we need to make our decisions together. So there's a lot of inspiration for what I do. It's multiple different things. So I'm not in a position where I can just do exactly what I want and make money on it. That'd be nice. Who knows if it'll ever happen. So I'm going to hedge my bets with making a business and do content. So that's where I'm at.
Fair.
Paul, will you go back to WBC if they ever have it again?
I think so. Even if they don't invite me.
Yeah, it'd just be good to see you there.
Yeah.
That's the big real thing about Workbench Con, right? Just networking and seeing everyone who's doing this stuff. That's the only real good thing that comes out of Workbench Con.
Absolutely.
That's the value being there, is the networking with other people.
Yeah.
Sure.
You can collaborate with people. You can maybe come up with a collaboration with someone. You can
we
pull
went
from people's experiences, right? That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. We went into it last year, me and Zach jokingly saying our goal with this talk is to not get invited back. Like, it's going to be that absurd that they're going to be like, I don't know if we can see what the next level of this is. And I think it might have happened. I don't know.
You did it.
Just
You
canceled
peaked.
the whole event.
Yeah.
Did they have they like ghosted you? They haven't contacted you since?
I haven't
People
heard
like-
from them. I don't know.
That was good. Or
It could be because it's not happening this year, or
Right.
there hasn't been like a follow-up at all.
But probably
Like,
because of you.
it was funny.
here's your
'cause-
money, don't ever call us again.
Right.
Type of deal.
At the event, I got really good feedback from the person that ran it. She's like, heard lots of good things about your talk. Like, great job, keep it up. And then after it happened, they sent out a survey, and at least one person, it was probably just one person, complained about our talk and said that we seemed like we weren't taking it seriously. It's like, well, yeah. You're
That
not
was the
wrong.
point of the
That
talk.
person takes it too seriously.
Yeah. So she was concerned about that. She's like, I just have to reach out and,
There
make
it
sure
is.
that you guys did your job. And it's like, well, I have the presentation if you want to see it. I filmed it. I don't know if that made it better or worse. But
That's frustrating, man.
yeah. So
People
we'll see.
ruining stuff. Whatever. I don't know why people are like that.
Paul ruined Workbench Con. So
I mean, we're an hour and 16 in. We could probably wrap this thing up. This is a really good episode, I think.
Yep.
No?
it's not terrible. I feel like
What do you say, Paul?
was-
You got
it
another
was
hour in
interesting.
you?
Yeah. Army Ant Death Spiral. Let's keep going on that.
Yeah, let's follow this thing in. No, let's wrap it up. That was a really, really good episode. I really enjoyed that a lot. Finally, it only took 45 episodes to enjoy one. So
Oh my god.
So this means that you've reached the apex.
Done.
To cancel the podcast.
yeah, this is we're it. We're gonna cancel it. It's the
I thought
prophecy
we
has
were gonna
come
bring
true.
up Fourth on. Just keep it going.
45 is a number where things go to die.
Is it?
I've always
feel
said I want to be 45.
I'm 42. I'm
That's-
talking about my age. I don't know you.
That's
think
something Dan's
Yeah.
never said.
Paul, thanks for coming on the show, man. Really, really appreciate it. That was a lot of fun, dude. That's it.
Man, we
And
answered
let's wrap
this
3
up.
questions. That's a new record.
Yeah. Thanks, Paul.
What's that?
Thanks for being here.
We answered 3 questions. That's a new record.
No, we didn't. We answered 2 questions.
Well, that was a 2-parter.
There's a 2-parter in one.
The
so, I
cabbage
mean-
went to Workbench Con. Which I love. That was like the best 10-20 minute segment ever.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
It was.
It's a good
It's
setup.
really, really hard hitting questions like that make this show so popular.
While you're
That's why
doing
we're
this,
so-
I did
that's
a
why we're
refresher
so,
and looked up
successful.
the suits. The suits were just primo. So good. Oh, forgot how good they were.
I still have it in a bag sitting on a shelf in here because I don't know what to do with it, but it's like I can't get rid of it.
I think
No.
you need to auction it off.
So it's just there. And corduroy pants went with it. And they're both like this
Ooh.
forest green color.
As they
Pure
should.
sex. All right, well, let's wrap it up. Let's get out of here. Paul, thanks, man. Really appreciate it. Guys, we'll talk to you
Thanks
soon.
for having me.
You gonna thank
Yeah, no,
anybody
thank you.
else, Mike?
I guess I could thank our sponsors.
Yeah.
Our one sponsor. Big thanks to Bear Hollow Supply for sponsoring the show. Dan, good save. Big thanks to our patrons for all your support. We can't believe how many of you actually support the show. It's crazy. So we
Especially after an episode like this.
really- this is primo right here.
Shout out to the Making It podcast patrons.
Yeah, Making It Podcast patrons, they're great. Yeah, no, big thank you to all the people who support us and keep sharing the show. We love you guys for that so much. We really couldn't make the show what it is without you guys. I mean, whatever it is, what is this thing? What would you guys classify it as?
Podcast.
Intermediate podcast success? Oh, no, just
Oh,
podcast. Okay.
Big success.
Pete,
Podcast.
Pete over there with a yes and.
Just a podcast. What do you want?
It's a
What are you looking
podcast.
for? What are you
No, it's
fishing
anyway.
for?
I don't know what I'm fishing for. It's just I'm gonna really just leave as much dead air in this thing as I
Dude,
possibly can.
This
Um,
is fun. We've been doing this for
No, it
almost
is
a
fun.
year. It's a blast.
Yeah, I
We got
know.
Paul Jackman on. That's kind of a big step.
It is pretty crazy that it's been almost a year. I mean,
Well,
we're
I think we've pretty much peaked. There's no way we're gonna get Bob Claggett on after this. So
no, not after all the stuff that Pete said about him. No. Anyway, big thank you to everyone for all the support. I guess that's it. Let's just roll out of this thing.
Yeah.
I'm ant death spiraling. So bye now. Bye. Okay.
Love you
Bye.
all.
Everything's fine here.
Bye.
Bye now. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Hi.
Bye. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Kill
Kill
it.
it.